Chapter 201. At this time, Su Yiyan still didn't know that someone was in deep trouble because of her and was waiting for her to rescue him. Since she had already made up her mind to open a physical store, Su Yiyan didn't delay for too long. That day, she coaxed and pestered Chang Juanhao to sign a restaurant share agreement with her. She contacted a renovation team and started to officially renovate the long-abandoned store the next day. Su Yiyan's father and the others were shocked when they learned that Su Yiyan wanted to open her own store. However, they didn't object. They felt that this was a good opportunity for Su Yiyan to practice. They were a little worried that she would be tired after opening the store, but they supported her decision with both hands and feet. They even offered to support her with funds. Su Yiyan didn't accept. She only asked for some trustworthy people from the two of them. When the renovation team was done, they would come over to help her. This wasn't difficult for the two of them, so they agreed on the spot. In Su Yiyan's era, although some cultural heritages were declining and most of the animals and plants had gone through a certain period of replacement, most of them were extinct. However, in some aspects, it was still much more advanced than the era in Wen Jingping's previous life. The most obvious difference was technology and infrastructure. In the 21st century, a store that would take a few months to renovate could be completed in a week with advanced equipment and special materials. Moreover, most of the materials used were non-polluting and non-toxic. Basically, it didn't take long for ventilation to move in. The more troublesome part was the design of the store's renovation. Fortunately, there were many design drawings in the system for reference. Su Yiyan chose the best one among them and left the rest to the renovation team. On the 5th day of the renovation team's official construction, Su Yiyan woke up early in the morning and made some porridge and steamed buns for breakfast. Just as he sat down, he saw his uncle and aunt lovingly holding each other's hands as they walked down the stairs with rosy faces. Cheng Xiaofan and the others also noticed them. They looked at each other and joked, "Why did you come down so late today? Did you stay up too late last night?" "Mom, aren't you talking nonsense? Just by looking at Auntie's refreshed look, you should know how hard Uncle worked last night." Mr. Su glanced at his eldest son calmly and said without batting an eyelid, "If you're so envious of your uncle, hurry up and find yourself one." Su Yuxuan choked. He rubbed his nose and said helplessly, "It's not like you can find it just because you want to." Cheng Xiaoqin rolled his eyes at his eldest son, his face full of disappointment. "You may not be able to find it if you want to, but if you don't look for it, you definitely won't be able to find it." Su Yuxuan. That might not be the case. When Su Yuxuan saw that breakfast time was about to devolve into a wedding banquet, he looked at Su Yiyan pleadingly, hoping that she could save him. Su Yiyan suppressed her laughter and glanced at him. In the end, she pitied him and pushed the red bean porridge that she had prepared for Qin Shueru. "It's okay, Auntie. Don't listen to my brother's nonsense. You and Uncle are husband and wife. Husband and wife have to do what husband and wife should do. We all understand." It would have been better if Su Yiyan didn't say that. Once she said that, Qin Shueru's ears turned red. She wanted to bury her head in the bowl and not come out. Logically speaking, at her age, she didn't have much passion for certain things. Chapter 202. The medicinal cuisine that Su Yiyan had prepared for her had the effect of nourishing the nest, and it was able to nourish her body's ability in this aspect. In addition, during this period of time, Cheng Xiaoqin would take her out for a walk whenever he was free. They would go shopping, buy things, and gather with other friends. With more things to do, her life was more fulfilling. Once her life was fulfilled, she would not be bothered by those troublesome things anymore, and her mentality would be much more relaxed. Both physically and mentally, Qin Shueru's complexion was much better than when she first arrived. Cheng Juanhao saw this and was happy in his heart. He smiled and did not refute their teasing. He saw the changes in Qin Shueru, and his body seemed to have changed in the past 2 days. To sum it up, the two of them had found some small memories of their youth, and they had accidentally gone a little overboard. It was a little embarrassing to say it, but they were husband and wife. It was natural for them to do this kind of thing, so there was nothing awkward about it. After the family chatted and laughed and had breakfast, Su Yiyan prepared to go to the medicinal cuisine restaurant. She did not expect to receive a call from Xia Junxing before she stepped out of the house. What happened? A female artist in the company had an accident. She's now in the hospital. Hospital? Injured? Is it serious? Su Yiyan frowned and could not help but feel worried. If it was an ordinary injury and hospitalization, Xia Junxing would not call her like this. It's not serious, but she's participating in a talent show. I'm afraid she has to withdraw after being hospitalized. Talent show? The one that Wen Jingping is participating in? Su Yiyan seemed to have sensed something. Does this have anything to do with Wen Jingping? Yes. Xia Junxing was silent for a moment, then told her the whole story. The injured female artist was called Yu Yushi. She was one of the 7 people sent by Dongqing to participate in the show. She was considered to be quite capable among the 7 people, and her ranking had always been in the upper tier. Last week, they had just gone through a big elimination of 60 to 20. Yu Yushi and 2 other female artists in the company had smoothly entered the top 20. Originally, a female artist from a company that had a good relationship with her could also enter the top 20. However, because Wen Jingping, who had originally been ordered to withdraw, used some tricks and was forced back, the female artist was forcefully squeezed out of her slot and regretfully withdrew from the competition. Yu Yushi was so angry that she ran straight to Wen Jingping to find trouble. She tore off the fig leaf in front of everyone and scolded her for being shameless. She should have scram as far away as possible after withdrawing from the competition. Why did she have to come back? Moreover, with her looks and ability, she was not worthy of being in the top 20. Yu Yushi only used her mouth to scold others the entire time and did not make a move. Wen Jingping's eyes turned red after being scolded by her. She still looked like a white lotus who had been bullied. A girl who had a good relationship with her and had a bad temper could not stand by and pushed Yu Yushi. Yu Yushi was already angry. After being pushed, she exploded on the spot and started fighting with the girl. This development was out of everyone's expectations. The others were a little confused at first, but later, they were worried that they would be punished for causing a big scene, so they quickly went forward to pull the 2 of them apart. During the pushing and shoving, the girl who stood up for Wen Jingping accidentally knocked Yu Yushi off the stage. Chapter 203. Su Yiyan's eyes darkened when she heard Xia Junxing's words. She asked in a low voice, "What's the name of the girl who stood up for Wen Jingping?" "I think her name is Si Mengyu." Si Mengyu. Su Yiyan's eyes flickered. "Is she also in the top 20? Yes. Xia Junxing was not stupid. He quickly reacted when he heard Su Yiyan's words. "You're suspecting." Su Yiyan chuckled and did not answer directly. She already felt that the name Yu Yushi was somewhat familiar. Now that she heard Si Mengyu's name and knew that she was also in the top 20, Su Yiyan was even more certain. She had never encountered this in her previous life, but it happened to be mentioned in the original novel provided by the system. Si Mengyu was the first friend that Wen Jingping met when she participated in the variety show. She was straightforward and loyal. To put it nicely, she was simple, but to put it bluntly, she was straightforward and a little stupid. Wen Jingping saw through her character at a glance. When she took the initiative to come over and express her goodwill, she was very gentle and warm. After a while, the 2 of them became very good friends. In the original novel, Yu Yushi did find trouble with Wen Jingping. However, at that time, Wen Jingping did not deliberately try to take advantage of the new streamer. Instead, she was slapped in the face by the new streamer and was even persuaded to leave the show by the production team. There was also no incident where Wen Jingping relied on her connections to replace the person who should have been shortlisted. The way Yu Yushi went to find trouble with Wen Jingping was considered gentler. Yu Yushi's personality was similar to Si Mengyu's. She had a bad temper and looked down on those who were not worthy of the position and had no ability but insisted on staying because of connections. She found a private time to ask Wen Jingping out alone and said a few words to her. In summary, she hoped that she would retreat in the face of difficulties and take the initiative to withdraw from the show and give the position to those who were better than her. In the original novel, Wen Jingping was the female lead. Everything was described from her point of view. Naturally, it emphasized how hard she worked and how motivated she was. For someone who came to find trouble with her, it was written as harshly as possible. At the same time, it made people feel sorry for her and annoyed with the character of Yu Yushi. Perhaps it was because of the filter of an enemy's enemy being a friend. Su Yiyan felt that there was nothing wrong with Yu Yushi's words. It was just that she used the wrong method and pushed herself into a disadvantageous position. After being scolded by Yu Yushi, Wen Jingping felt very wronged and ran to find Si Mengyu with red eyes. Seeing her like this, Si Mingyu naturally couldn't help but ask a few questions. Wen Jingping was unwilling to say at first, but later on, she told her about Yu Yushi looking for trouble with her intermittently. She even deliberately skipped over some important points and only extracted a few of Yu Yushi's more aggressive sentences. Originally, the meaning of a sentence could completely change if the tone was different, let alone take it out of context like Wen Jingping. Si Mingyu was filled with anger when she heard it. Naturally, she wanted to stand up for her best friend. She rushed over to quarrel with Yu Yushi. In the end, they quarreled and fought. Yu Yushi was injured and was forced to withdraw from the show. Si Mingyu was also persuaded to withdraw by the production team because she hurt someone. Su Yayan felt that this scene was quite out of place when she roughly watched it. Now that she knew that both of them were outstanding seeded contestants in the top 20, she could not help but have other thoughts. Chapter 204. Su Yayan pondered for a moment and asked again, did the two of them have an argument on stage? Yes, but it wasn't during the recording. It was after the recording was completed. Su Yayan took a deep breath and muttered, was there a video camera still on at the scene? Or a surveillance camera? There should be. I've already asked someone to get it. After all, their company had invested in this show, so it shouldn't be a problem to get the surveillance video. Moreover, something had happened to their artist, so the production team really should give them an explanation. Remember to make a copy for me when you get it. It's best if it's from Wen Jingping's perspective. After hearing Su Yayan's words, Xia Junxing actually had a trace of doubt in his heart. Okay, I'll get them to do it as soon as possible. Okay. After Su Yayan responded, she didn't hear anything for a long time. She frowned slightly and took the initiative to ask, is there anything else? Yu Yushi is hospitalized. Do you want to come and see her? Su Yayan's first reaction when she heard Xia Junxing's words was, who is this artist? Why does the big boss have to go and see her in person when she's hospitalized? Who's this person? I only found out today that her sister is Yu Jingyu, her biological sister. Yu Jingyu? Su Yayan felt that the name was a little familiar. After thinking for a while, she finally remembered, the general manager of the jewelry group, Yu Group? She's the second daughter of the Yu family? Yes. Su Yayan really didn't know whether to laugh or cry. One Ning Chirue was not enough, and now there was the second daughter of the Yu Group. Did her company burn incense or offend the god of fortune in her previous life? Our entertainment company is really full of crouching tigers and hidden dragons. Xia Junxing was also a little helpless. If it was an ordinary artist, he could just go and take a look with his status, but if it involved the Yu Group, his status was a little weak. Then you see. I'll go. I can also take a look at this legendary Iron Lady. The Yu family, a jewelry family, only had 2 daughters in this generation. The eldest daughter, Yu Jingyu, had followed her parents into the company for an internship early on. In a few years, she had quickly gained a foothold in the company and even in the jewelry industry. Women had a natural advantage and sensitivity when it came to jewelry. In addition, Miss Yu's personality was not inferior to those men, so she was known as the Iron Lady of the business world. Compared to her thunderous reputation, the second miss of the Yu family was much more low-key. There was almost no news about her to the outside world. Su Yayan also didn't expect that she would actually hide in her own company. Could it be that the rich young masters and young ladies all entered the entertainment circle to play these days? However, Yu Yushi's identity reminded her of something else. In the original novel, Wen Jingping was worried that Yu Yushi and the management company behind her would find trouble with her after this incident. She even told Hua Xiaofan about it. When Hua Xiaofan found out, he gave her an idea and asked her to bring a bunch of reporters to the hospital to visit Yu Yushi. In front of so many cameras, Wen Jingping humbled herself and apologized to Yu Yushi. Moreover, she apologized on behalf of Si Mingyu, so Yu Yushi couldn't be too harsh. After all, people tended to side with the weak. If Yu Yushi really didn't let it go, her original victim status would probably be stripped. To put it bluntly, it was moral blackmail. If someone apologized to you, you would be magnanimous if you forgave them. If you didn't forgive them, you would be calculative. Chapter 205. However, in the eyes of the readers, she was a cannon fodder villain and a bad person. When she was punished, the readers would think that the female lead did a good job and was gentle and kind. Yu Yushi suffered such a huge loss and was disgusted by Wen Jingping, so she naturally refused to let it go. After that, she caused trouble for Wen Jingping a few times, but was blocked by Hua Xiaofan. Si Mingyu was not so lucky. Unlike Wen Jingping, she did not have Hua Xiaofang's protection. The consequences of being attacked by the Yu family's revenge were obvious. After Si Mingyu left the show, Wen Jingping even ran to thank her and felt guilty that she had implicated her. At the same time, she mentioned that she had to compromise and apologize to Yu Yushi because of her hitting someone. Si Mingyu was so touched that she completely forgot that she had gotten into trouble because of her. After that, Si Mingyu disappeared from the industry, but Wen Jingping climbed higher and higher. She only heard about Si Mingyu from others when she was successful and found out that she was inexplicably banned by the company after this incident. When her contract expired, she left the entertainment industry and returned to her hometown. It was said that she was forced to marry a mommy's boy by her family and led a miserable life. Wen Jingping sighed and threw this matter to the back of her mind. Su Yiyan did not believe that Wen Jingping could not guess that Si Mingyu had ended up like this because of her. She pretended to sigh and did not even think of meeting her to ask if she needed help. It was obvious that she was cold-hearted. At that time, Si Mingyu would often see the people she had helped standing under the spotlight and being pursued and envied by countless people on television. She, who had stood up for her, ended up in a bad state because of helping her. Did she ever regret her enthusiasm? On the way to the hospital, Su Yiyan simply sorted out the relationship between the three of them. In conclusion, Si Mingyu was not a bad person, but she was too stupid. She was the kind of person who would count money after being sold. When Su Yiyan arrived at the hospital, Xia Junsheng was already there with a mini projector in his hand. You got the surveillance footage so quickly? When the incident happened, there was a camera at the side that was still on, and it captured some things. Su Yiyan's eyes lit up, and she was instantly interested. Did you manage to capture something related to Wen Jingping? Just a little bit. Take a look for yourself. Su Yiyan took the projector and asked, did the production team give this to you so easily? They weren't willing to give it to us at first, but President Hua put pressure on them. Chen Huan. Su Yiyan was stunned. He knows about this too? Cough. It should be one of my subordinates keeping an eye on the situation over there. Su Yiyan raised her eyebrows. She recalled the time when Hua Chenhuan had asked someone to remove Wen Jingping. That guy probably hadn't given up until now and was still thinking of helping her kill this woman. Why is he pressuring them? He's threatening and enticing them. He's giving them more investment, and if they don't give it, he's going to mess with them. Su Yiyan. Sure, this is very Hua Chenhuan. However, the production team won't lose anything by bringing this out. Yu Yushi is injured and hospitalized, so she must have withdrawn from the competition. The production team has to give her an explanation. Si Mingyu definitely can't stay. She's someone who's going to withdraw from the competition. If this video is really released and hyped up, it might even bring a wave of free traffic to their show. Chapter 206. Xia Junsheng did not answer directly. Instead, he gestured for Su Yiyan to watch the video first. At the beginning of the video, a girl rushed toward another girl. The two of them quarreled for a while and started pushing each other. Their movements were not very big. It was obvious that the two of them had quarreled until their faces were red and they were a little anxious. After that, a few girls on the side surrounded them one after another, trying to pull them apart. At this moment, one of the girls suddenly fell backward from the side of the stage. Her whole body fell off the stage. Immediately after, the girl who had rushed towards her also staggered and fell, almost falling down as well. Fortunately, the baldy managed to stop himself in the end. He struggled back and forth for a while before he managed to stabilize himself. From her actions, it doesn't look like she's pushing someone. Instead, it looks like she was pushed out and bumped into Yu Yushi. Xia Junsheng nodded. There's still a short video after that. It was taken by another camera. Su Yiyan continued to watch. Indeed, from another angle, she could see that when the group of girls ran over to pull the two of them, Wen Jingping happened to be standing behind Si Mingyu. It's a pity that the camera can only capture so much from this angle. There were many people at that time, so she was basically blocked. Even if this video is released, As long as she says that she went over to pull people, we can't do anything to her. Why are we wasting our time arguing with her? The important thing is whether the person involved is willing to argue with her. The person involved. Su Yiyan did not explain further. She put away the projector and asked, "Where's Yu Yushi? Which ward is she in?" "Upstairs." Xia Junxing leaned closer to Su Yiyan and reminded her in a low voice. "Yu Yushi's manager just called me and said that Yu Yushi's family is here. There are many people guarding upstairs. Isn't that just right? Let's go up and meet this general manager Yu." Xia Junxing saw that Su Yiyan was really not nervous at all, so his heart calmed down and he followed her upstairs. Just as Xia Junxing had said, Yu Jingyu had already arrived. There were a large number of bodyguards in black guarding the staircase on the 3rd and 4th floors, preventing anyone from approaching. Su Yiyan did not panic when he was stopped. He said frankly, "I'm Su Yiyan, the current general manager of Dongqing City. My company's artist, Yu Yushi, is injured and hospitalized. I'm here to visit her in person." The bodyguards in black looked at each other. One of them turned back into the ward on the 3rd floor and ran out after a short while. "Our eldest miss invites Miss Su over." "Thank you." Under the guidance of the bodyguard, Su Yiyan led Xia Junxing into the innermost private ward and finally met the famous Miss Yu. Yu Jingyu was wearing a dark blue professional skirt. She looked capable and serious. She left a deep impression on people at first glance. She was unforgettable. Perhaps it was because of her sister's injury. Yu Jingyu's face didn't look good at the moment. When she heard the sound of the door opening, she glanced over coldly, almost freezing Su Yiyan and the others. Su Yiyan was slightly stunned. He looked her up and down, then turned his gaze to the girl on the hospital bed with one leg in a cast. They were biological sisters, but Yu Yushi looked completely different from her sister in terms of appearance and feeling. Chapter 207. Other than the two sisters, there was a girl who was slightly younger than Yu Yushi standing on the other side of the bed. Her eyes were red like a little white rabbit. Before Su Yiyan came, she had seen the artiste information that the company had compiled for her. She knew that this person should be the unlucky person who had coincidentally been replaced by Wen Jingping. Her name was Yun Luoshan. From the information, this girl was the youngest in this show. She looked more immature than the others, and she was the type who was easily bullied. Su Yiyan's gaze swept past the three of them before finally landing on Yu Jingyu. "Hello, Director Yu. I'm the current person in charge of East City. My surname is Su." Yu Jingyu looked at Su Yiyan's outstretched hand and did not refuse. She raised her hand and shook it. "Director Su, I've heard a lot about you. I'm very sorry that Yushi was injured at work this time." Yu Jingyu did not seem to have any intention of beating around the bush with Su Yiyan. She went straight to the point. "Since it's a pity, has Director Su thought of a way to make up for it?" "That depends on Director Yu. How is Director Yu going to deal with this matter?" "Of course it's to teach the person who hurt her a lesson. Does Director Su have other thoughts?" "Of course not. Director Yu's thoughts are my thoughts. But before that, I have to ask Yushi a few questions." "What questions?" Yu Yushi looked at Su Yiyan curiously. She had heard that her manager's company had just changed bosses not long ago, and it was a woman. When Yu Yushi heard that, she thought that this new boss must be a powerful woman about the same age as her sister. She did not expect to be so young. "I heard from the people present that you were the one who went on stage first to cause trouble for others?" Yu Yushi was slightly stunned. She looked at her sister and boss's gazes and felt inexplicably guilty. She gritted her teeth and said, "I was the one who went up first to scold them." As soon as Yu Yushi finished speaking, before Su Yiyan and the others could say anything, Yun Luoshan interrupted. No, it's because of me. It's because of me that Sister Yushi ran up. It's all my fault. I hurt her. If you want to blame someone, blame me. Don't blame Sister Yushi." Yun Luoshan really regretted it. If only she had pulled Yu Yushi back then, none of this would have happened. Yu Yushi was stunned when she saw her tearful face. She quickly said, "What does this have to do with you? It's the production team that's going too far. You're clearly ranked in front of them. Why do you have to leave just because they want you to stay? It's fine if the person left behind is similar to you. That Wen Jingping isn't as good looking as you, And her singing isn't as good as yours either. She doesn't work very hard usually, and she spends all her energy on those crooked ways. What right does such a person have to snatch your spot? This has nothing to do with you. I'm the one who can't take it lying down. Yun Luoshan was frightened by her furious appearance. After a while she reminded her in a trembling voice. Sister Yusher, don't be agitated. Be careful of your injuries. That fierce doctor just now said that if you keep moving around and break your leg, he won't treat you anymore. Yusher, Su Yiyan almost laughed out loud when he saw this scene. How did these two girls get together? One was like a violent lioness protecting her cub, daring to roar at anyone. Chapter 208. After Su Yiyan laughed, she returned to the topic at hand and coughed lightly to draw their attention back. I don't mean to blame you. I just think that you're too impulsive. Yu Jingyu, who had been standing at the side and watching coldly, actually agreed with Su Yiyan. She's right. You're too impulsive. If you don't think about the consequences before you do something, you'll only be at a disadvantage. Then are we just going to watch them treat the rules as child's play and bully others? Talking about rules with adults? You're indeed immature. Yu Yusher was unconvinced when she heard her sister's words. Your original intention was good, but you used the wrong method. Wen Jingping's parachute was arranged by the production team. If you fall out with her in front of so many people, you're also falling out with the production team. If you weren't injured, or if you didn't have the identity of the second daughter of the Yu family, your entertainment career might have been ruined by now. Yu Yusher's face darkened. The reason why she hid her identity and sneaked into someone else's entertainment company to start from scratch was because she didn't want others to think that everything she had and everything she could obtain was because she was the second daughter of the Yu family. Without this identity she was nothing. She was nothing. Su Yiyan's words could be said to have hit her Achilles' heel, but she couldn't refute it. Yu Yusher felt her face burning when she thought about how she had left home confidently back then. It had only been a few months, but she had already been hospitalized and even alarmed her sister. How embarrassing. If you're really angry, you can settle the score with them later. Settle the score later. If they don't take the rules seriously, then let them suffer the consequences of the rules. Didn't Wen Jingping shamelessly stay to become famous? You can make her more famous. Yu Yusher was stunned. You mean, there are two sides to everything. There's always a price to pay for crossing the bottom line. Yu Jingyu narrowed her eyes and interrupted. If my sister had your brain, I wouldn't have to worry so much. Yu Yusher. I'm still here. Am I her biological sister? The onlooker sees more clearly than the player involved. If I really encounter such a situation, I might not be much calmer than her. After Su Yiyan finished speaking, he turned to look at Yu Yusher and said with a faint smile, now that things have gotten to this point, what kind of explanation do you want? Me. Yes. Yu Yusher never thought that Su Yiyan would ask so bluntly. When she entered the hospital, she was filled with anger. She was angry at the integrity team, angry at the person who caused her to be hospitalized, and even angrier at Wen Jingping. She was still angry, but she was much calmer than before. I want Si Mengyu and Wen Jingping to withdraw from this show. I want the production team to apologize for their actions. You have quite a lot of demands. It's easy for Si Mengyu to knock you down and cause you to be hospitalized and withdraw from the show, but Wen Jingping, she shouldn't have stayed in the first place. That's right. She shouldn't have stayed in the first place, but the production team let her stay. Moreover, strictly speaking, you can't blame her for your hospitalization. Yu Yusher's face was as black as the bottom of a pot. She knew that Su Yiyan was telling the truth, but she was still very indignant. It was also at this moment that she suddenly realized that everything she had done before was actually useless. Yu Jingyu's expression darkened. Can't we just ask the production team to remove her? How can a small show have so many problems? Chapter 209. Yu Yusher's expression froze. Su Yiyan had hit the nail on the head again, and she was a little angry from embarrassment. Perhaps you can try to cooperate with someone. Su Yiyan took out the projector and showed the surveillance video that he had prepared beforehand to the people in the ward. They replayed the scene of Yu Yusher being pushed off the stage and felt a little uncomfortable. Yu Jingyu's face was dark. Although she was angry, She was the first one to notice something strange. This girl. Yu Jingyu pointed at Si Mengyu, who was staggering and almost fell down with Yu Yushi. Sister, she was the one who knocked me off the stage. There are so many people. How can you be sure that it was her? Yu Yushi pouted unhappily. Who else could it be? She was arguing with me before I fell, and after I fell, she was the only one who came out. How can there be such a coincidence? It's quite a coincidence. She was standing behind you, and there was another girl standing behind her. Yu Yushi choked. Only then did she realize that when she fell, the person standing behind Si Mengyu was Wen Jingping? Su Yayan secretly sighed at Yu Jingyu's shrewdness. She had only watched such a small video once, but she had actually discovered the small clue inside. Whether it's a coincidence or not, won't we know if we call her over and ask? Call who? Su Yayan glanced at her meaningfully and chuckled. If you were to choose between the two of them, who would you rather call over? I. Yu Yushi wanted to say that she did not want to see either of them, but after thinking about it, she felt that this answer was too impulsive. After pondering for a moment, she reluctantly told the truth. Si Mengyu. How rare. You were hospitalized because of her. Now that you're given a choice, you still chose her. I didn't have much enmity with her originally. If it wasn't for Wen Jingping, Su Yayan smiled. This girl was impulsive, but she was not stupid. Yu Jingyu heard the conversation between the two, but she quickly understood Su Yayan's intention. You want to use us? It's not considered using her. Yu Yushi is an artist of our company to begin with. We have the right to seek justice for her. At the same time, it just so happens that we have someone we both hate. Su Yayan winked at Yu Jingyu playfully. Since she is the victim in this matter, it's reasonable for her to think of your side. Otherwise, we can deal with it here, but the effect may not be as good as imagined. Yu Jingyu took a deep look at Su Yayan and said nothing. Yu Yushi looked at the two of them in confusion and said speechlessly, "What kind of riddle are you guys playing?" Before Su Yayan could speak, Yu Jingyu had already reached out and took the projector from her hand. I will take care of this matter. As for the follow-up matters, the company will also help guide them. Sorry to trouble you. Of course. If there's nothing else, we'll go back first. Yushi, rest well. We'll visit you next time. After Su Yayan finished speaking, she took one last look at Yu Yushi and left with Xia Junsheng. Yu Jingyu looked at the projector in her hand, and then at the direction in which the two of them left. She was deep in thought. Yu Yushi saw that Yu Jingyu was standing there without saying anything, so she asked tentatively, Sister, your boss is much smarter than you. Chapter 210. As soon as Su Yayan left the hospital, Xia Junsheng could not help but ask, Do you really believe that they can do it well? If you use someone, don't doubt them. It's indeed impossible for Yu Yushi to do it alone. However, her sister is a powerful person. A character like Wen Jingping has nowhere to hide in front of her. Just wait, maybe they'll do better than we expected. With her around, it's impossible for Yu Yushi to be at a disadvantage. Su Yayan closed her eyes after saying that. Now that she thought about it, the timing of Wen Jingping's visit to the hospital in the original novel was also coincidental. According to today's situation, she must have met Yu Yushi before Yu Jingyu arrived. Otherwise, she would not have brought such a large group of people to the ward to cause a ruckus without being stopped. It was interesting when she thought about it this way. Yu Jingyu's sister did not even have time to rush to the hospital when she received the news, but she had already taken the lead to apologize. No matter how one looked at it, she seemed to have expected it and was prepared. Unfortunately, she had already found the evidence first. Because she was at the filming location, the news reached Yu Jingyu's ears immediately. Now that they were already in the hospital, it would be fine if Wen Jingping did not cause trouble, but now that she did, she would probably be sending herself to death. In fact, just as Su Yayan had expected, Wen Jingping did make the same choice as in the original novel. After Yu Yushi was hospitalized, she immediately contacted Xiaofan and explained the whole story to him. She also told him that this was all because of her. She was worried that Yu Yushi's management company and the production team would blame Si Mengyu for this. If that happened, she would have implicated her. Si Mengyu was now at the center of the storm and could not visit Yu Yushi in the hospital, so she wanted to visit Yu Yushir on Si Mingyu's behalf and ask for Yu Yushir's forgiveness. However, at the same time, she was worried that Yu Yushir would make things difficult for her if she apologized. When Hua Xiaofan heard her words, he was touched by her kindness and worried that she would be at a disadvantage. At first, he suggested that she go with the bodyguards, but when Jingping rejected him. The reason was that he was there to apologize, not to fight. It was not suitable to bring bodyguards with him. Hua Xiaofan thought about it and agreed. He then thought of finding a group of reporters to accompany her. He's here? When Yu Jingyu received the bodyguard's report, it was already an hour after Su Yiyan left. He's already downstairs with a large group of reporters. Eldest miss, should we let her up? Reporter. A cold light flashed in Yu Jingyu's eyes as she chuckled. You have some brains, but it's a pity that you didn't use them on the right path. Yu Yushir was embarrassed. Sister, do you think I'm the most brainless because everyone has a brain? Yu Jingyu looked at her with disdain and said coldly and mercilessly, it's the truth. Yu Yushir was furious. It's fine if you said my boss is smart, but now you're saying that when Jingping is smarter than me. You. Before Yu Yushir could finish, Yun Luoshan asked from the side, why did she bring the reporters here? Looking for trouble? See, this little girl has more brains than you. Looking for trouble? She's still looking for trouble at this time. Is there something wrong with her brain? Chapter 2:11. Sister. Yu Yushir was furious. She was not that bad. Yu Jingyu did not explain further to her. Let her in. 5 minutes later, Wen Jingping followed behind the black-clothed bodyguard from before. Behind her was a group of reporters with long cameras and short cannons. Some of them were even live streaming. Wen Jingping's heart skipped a beat when she saw the bodyguards downstairs. Now that she saw an unfamiliar woman in the ward, she had a premonition that something was out of her control. Unfortunately, she had no choice but to post it online. She could only ask tentatively, this is... Yu Jingyu's eyes flickered, and she said directly, I'm Yushir's sister. You are? I am. Before Wen Jingping could finish, Yu Yushir interrupted her impatiently. What are you here for? Wen Jingping's face turned pale, and she immediately looked hurt. However, she was a little happy about Yu Yushir's straightforwardness. Facing so many reporters and cameras, she actually acted as usual. It saved her a lot of trouble. Yu Yushir was annoyed to see her like this. Every time she spoke a little more seriously, it was as if others were bullying her and she had suffered a great grievance. Did she really think that she was a little princess? Everyone in the world had to treat her like she was fragile and accommodate her. What was wrong with her? I'm here to apologize to you on behalf of Mengyu. Yu Yushir raised her eyebrows. If you're here to apologize to me on behalf of Si Mengyu, why didn't she come herself? She's too embarrassed to come. Wen Jingping thought that Yu Yushir would definitely mock her for saying that, but she didn't expect Yu Yushir to only reply coldly, oh. Wen Jingping was stunned and almost fell into an awkward silence. After a moment of silence, she quickly continued, Mengyu actually regrets it. She didn't expect things to turn out like this and even let you be hospitalized. Actually, someone from the production team has already talked to her. She also realized her mistake. She was just afraid that if she came and saw you like this, she would feel even worse, so she didn't come. Yu Yushir listened to her emotional performance and said nothing. Wen Jingping had no choice but to continue her monologue. In the end, she was too impulsive. It wasn't a big deal to begin with. Now that things have turned out this way, it's not what everyone wanted. Yushir, can you be magnanimous and forgive her this time? Don't let the production team pursue her responsibility. I apologize to you on her behalf and thank you on her behalf. She did not mention herself at all and pushed all the blame onto Si Mengyu. She even portrayed herself as someone who was willing to lower herself to beg for forgiveness for her friend. Yu Yushir sneered and suddenly asked, there were so many people present. How did you know that she was the one who caused me to fall off the stage? Wen Jingping was stunned. The words she had prepared were stuck in her throat for a second. At that time, everyone saw it. You saw everything? Then did you see her push me with your own eyes? Yu Yushir emphasized the words with your own eyes and, with her own hands. Wen Jingping's heart skipped a beat again. She said stiffly, "I didn't see it. But at that time, everyone was busy trying to separate the two of you. Only Meng Yu kept struggling to get to you." After leaving behind a few suggestive words, he hurriedly pleaded for leniency. She was probably angry at that time, that's why. Yu Yusher looked at her with a faint smile and did not say anything. Chapter 2:12. Although Yu Yusher was staying in a private ward, it was the most luxurious kind. Not only did it have a private bathroom, but it also had a small screen that blocked her from changing clothes in the room. Wen Jingping's attention was all on Yu Yusher and her sister when she first entered the room. How could she have checked if there was someone hiding behind the small screen? The result was obvious. Not only was there someone hiding inside, but there was also someone she was extremely familiar with. Wen Jingping was dumbfounded when she saw the person who shouldn't be here. "Meng Yu, why are you here? Why am I here? If I wasn't here, how would I know what you're like behind my back?" Meng Yu looked at the person in front of her with bloodshot eyes. She hated her blindness as much as she liked this friend before. About an hour ago, Meng Yu suddenly received a call from her manager saying that someone was looking for her to go to the hospital. Meng Yu knew that Yu Yusher was probably going to settle scores with her. Although she was nervous, she knew that she had to bear the consequences of her mistake. She gritted her teeth and decided to come here alone. Unexpectedly, Yu Yusher and the others were not in a hurry to convict her. Instead, they asked her, "Did you really push me off the stage last night?" Meng Yu's first reaction was to think, "Are they trying to humiliate me on purpose?" If she said that she was pushed by someone, but she couldn't say who pushed her, would they think that it was an excuse for her to not take responsibility for her crime? Meng Yu's heart was in a mess. At first, she didn't say anything and only lowered her head to beg for forgiveness. In the end, she was really annoyed by the questions, so she turned her face away and said in a hoarse voice that she seemed to have been hit from behind before rushing out. They were all prepared to be ridiculed, but they didn't expect that they would look at each other and continue to ask, "Then do you know who pushed you?" Meng Yu was a little annoyed. If she knew, would she be so regretful and aggrieved now? "I don't know." "That's good. We know who pushed you." Meng Yu's eyes widened when she heard this. She said in disbelief, "Do you know who pushed me? Did she do it on purpose? Why did she do that? Who is she? You might not believe us even if we tell you who she is. See for yourself." Thus, Meng Yu saw the surveillance video of the accident last night and the person she couldn't believe. How could it be her? How could it be her? Are you mistaken? Meng Yu's face was pale. She couldn't believe that the person she was protecting was a poisonous beauty. This is the video that we spent a lot of effort to get from the production team. These 2 clips have not been edited at all. If you don't believe me, you can compare it with the others. Meng Yu's eyes reddened. Why did she do that? Why? The amount of pity she had for her before was the same amount of disgust she felt for her now. Now you know how to say nice things. What did you say to me before? Yu Yusher is obviously a little princess raised by a rich family. She looks down on a country bumpkin like you who came from a poor family. Ever since she joined the production team, she has been causing trouble for you. She even isolated and bullied you with the others. Chapter 2:14. With every word Meng Yu said, Wen Jingping's face turned paler. Yu Yusher could not take it anymore. What the hell are you talking about? When did I cause trouble for her? I even colluded with others to isolate her and colluded with the production team to slander her? The talent show they were participating in had auditions, preliminaries, 100 to 60, 60 to 20. The competition system was simple but cruel. Due to the large number of people and limited time, they basically adopted a team versus team competition mode. In the beginning, the production team assigned teams, and later, they were free to form teams. To a certain extent, the quality of their teammates was related to their own results. Wen Jingping was not outstanding, and her ability was not good either. To put it bluntly, she was a hindrance. When it came to grouping later, she was often the last batch. Very few people were willing to be in the same group as her, afraid that they would be implicated by her. In the end, she was still blamed for the trouble caused by her own ability. At that thought, Yu Yushi glanced at Wen Jingping in disdain. She's not worthy. It was just 3 short words, but it made Wen Jingping's body tremble. She suddenly returned to the dark period in her previous life when anyone could step on her at will. Why was she still looked down on by these people even though she had been reborn? What right did they have to look down on her? Sometimes people were like this. When they trusted someone, they could ignore some things. When they no longer trusted someone, these things would return to their minds one after another. It made people regret being so stupid that they could not see such an obvious thing. Si Mengyu was more or less in this situation now. I was stupid. I believed whatever you said and never checked if the truth was different from what you said. Now that I think about it, Miss Yu didn't have much contact with you. She's prettier and more capable than you. Why would she cause trouble for you, spend so much effort to slander you, and make others isolate you? When Wen Jingping heard Si Mengyu say, she's prettier and more capable than you, she was so angry that her face turned black. Just as she was about to say something, she heard Si Mengyu say, since all the media friends are here today, let's sort this matter out carefully so that there won't be any more trouble in the future and make me a scapegoat for no reason. Wen Jingping was shocked. The ominous feeling in her heart suddenly magnified. Mengyu you. Si Mengyu ignored her shock and said coldly, the cause of the incident was at the recording of the show last night. During the public performance competition for the top 60 to top 20, when the final rankings and candidates were decided, Miss Yu suddenly ran out to question the results. She asked the production team to release the detailed voting results and publicly accused Wen Jingping of using her special privileges to take over the contestants who should have been shortlisted. Si Mengyu's words caused an uproar. Although the reporters who came with Wen Jingping were hired by Xiaofan, the reporter's job was to chase after anything that broke the news. The situation in front of them was much more explosive than the small news of Little White Lotus apologizing to the victim on behalf of her friend. Her sincerity moved the victim to let bygones be bygones. The internal strife of the talent show. 3 women in a show. Who would be the final winner? Chapter 2:15. Wen Jingping's face turned pale. She never expected that the trap she had set up with great difficulty would backfire on her. Mengyu. Si Mengyu met Wen Jingping's angry and venomous gaze. She found it funny and sad at the same time. The little bit of luck in her heart finally dissipated at this moment. Wen Jingping and I usually have a good relationship. Besides, as I said just now, she brainwashed me a few times in advance. When I saw Miss Yu go on stage and say those words, my head heated up. The first thing I thought was that she wanted to bully Wen Jingping, so I went up and quarreled with her. Later, because of this quarrel, it led to physical contact. Just as Si Mengyu said this, a reporter couldn't help but ask, since you have a good relationship with Miss Wen, why are you attacking her now? Si Mengyu could tell that the reporter was stirring up trouble, but she wasn't afraid. She simply said, when you find out that the person you've been treating sincerely has been using you and even wants to destroy you after using you, what will you do? I wasn't attacking her. I was just fighting back. The reporter's eyes lit up. Just as he was about to ask again, Si Mengyu continued, when they saw us pushing and shoving, the others were afraid that something would happen, so they came forward to pull us away. As they were pulling, someone pushed me from behind, causing me to bump into Miss Yu, causing her to be hospitalized. And I almost fell off the stage and accompanied Miss Yu to the hospital. The reporters who followed her reacted very quickly. Soon, someone asked the main point, was that person Miss Wen? Just as Si Mengyu was about to speak, she heard a sharp shout, Mengyu! Everyone's attention instantly shifted to Wen Jingping. Her eyes were red, and her face was filled with hurt and disbelief. She said, how could you do this? Just to avoid responsibility, you made up such a lie and pushed all the blame onto me. We're best friends, you know. How could you do this? I really misjudged you. This complaint was so sad and mournful that a few reporters who were protective of the fairer sex even showed some sympathy for her. Si Mengyu frowned slightly. Before she could refute, Yu Jingyu was one step ahead of her. Someone will investigate whether she lied or not. This is a vicious case of intentional injury. Before you came, we already called the police. If you have anything to say next, you can say it to the police yourself. At this point, Yu Jingyu looked deeply at Wen Jingping and sneered. By the way, Miss Wen, please be mentally prepared. We have evidence on our hands. If you don't want people to know, Don't do it in the first place. When she heard that, she couldn't control of herself. This once again. A hint of coldness flashed across Yu Jingyu's eyes. Her words were actually meant to test Wen Jingping. After all, Wen Jingping's mental fortitude was still a problem. She still dared to play tricks on her biological sister. She was really tired of living. Yu Jingyu's words were no different from convicting Wen Jingping. The reporters were like great white sharks that smelled blood. They scrambled to squeeze into the ward and were thrown out by the bodyguards not long after. Si Mingyu turned around and bowed deeply to Yu Yushi. She glanced coldly at Wen Jingping and left. Chapter 216. After Su Yiyan left the hospital, she had been paying attention to the aftermath of this incident. Yu Jingyu did not disappoint her. Very soon, she saw the live broadcast of this incident on the internet. Yes, live broadcast. Wen Jingping felt uneasy when she saw so many bodyguards in black. She simply asked a few reporters to broadcast everything that happened in the ward on the spot, just in case. In the end, the development of the situation was completely beyond her expectations. The script that she had originally planned had completely backfired on her. The Public Relations Department of Dongqing City had been waiting for this moment for a long time. As soon as the live broadcast came out, they issued an announcement, declaring that they would pursue this matter to the end. In addition, the reporters who were broadcasting the live broadcast happened to capture the police officers in the hospital preparing to arrest them before the live broadcast ended. Of course, the drama of the plastic sisters fighting on the spot was sent to the hot topic. Before this, Wen Jingping had been ridiculed because of the incident. If she had been tactful and kept quiet for a period of time, waiting for the onlookers to forget about this incident, she might have been able to make a comeback. But she was too impatient. Because of this, wouldn't her old grudges be digging her own grave? Su Yiyan looked at the almost one-sided comments on the internet and smiled slightly. She packaged all these happy video messages and sent them to Hua Chenhuan. When Hua Chenhuan received these messages, she was busy with a video conference. When she heard the familiar notification tone, she directly interrupted the report of the employee on the other end. In front of a group of company executives, she took out her phone and started chatting. Yan loves you the most in the world. Am I awesome? Picture 1. Picture 2. Across the screen, Hua Chenhuan could imagine Su Yiyan's slightly raised chin and gleaming eyes because of pride. She looked very much like a proud cat wagging its tail after being praised. Hua. Awesome. Give you a little red flower. JPG. It was this old cadre's emoji again. Su Yiyan was amused and sent another message. Yan loves you the most in the world. I've been busy recently. Originally, I was too lazy to find trouble with her, but she insisted on jumping in front of me. Don't you think she deserves a beating from society? Hua Chenhuan said in her heart. No, she owes you a beating. Hua, yeah, you're so busy, but she still came to make you worry. She deserves a beating. Su Yiyan couldn't help but laugh when she saw this reply. This guy could really hit the nail on the head every time and make her happy. Yan, who loves you most in the world? Why do I love you so much? Face rubbing. JPG, Big Boss Hua, who had learned a lot of bootlicking, naturally knew what he meant. A slight blush quickly appeared on her face, and it happened so quickly that the few senior executives who were still hanging on the internet almost thought that they were seeing things. However, there were still one or two people who were particularly fast. They captured the scene and sent it to the company's small group chat. Shocking! Big Boss could blush too. Ah, is he in love? A single stone raised 1,000 ripples. For a moment, those who were slacking and those who weren't all gathered in a small group and started to discuss this once-in-a-100-year spectacle. Until someone in the know ran out and revealed. How is he in love? He's about to get married. I heard that Big Boss has had a crush on the goddess for a long time. How can he not be happy when he finally gets the beauty? As soon as this was said, it immediately attracted the attention of everyone. After a round of explanation, everyone suddenly understood. Chapter 217. At this moment, Hua Chenhuan still didn't know that this group of company elites was having a small meeting downstairs while he was talking to Su Yiyan. After showing off her victory, Su Yiyan brought the topic back to his body. Yan loves you most in the world. I've already prepared the ingredients for the medicinal bath. I'll send them to you in 2 days. Also, my mom said that we're getting married soon, so it's not appropriate for us to meet before the wedding. The medicinal bath needs to be used together with massage and acupuncture. The acupuncture can be done later. As for the massage, why don't you ask one of Xiaoyang and the others to learn from me? The massage was her reward for leveling up to level 4 after the last live broadcast. When she saw the reward, the first thing that came to her mind was that the massage should be used together with the medicinal bath to promote the absorption of the medicine. It was very suitable for Hua Chenhuan now. When Hua Chenhuan saw this long paragraph, he suddenly thought of something and narrowed his eyes. Hua, is the massage what I think it means? Yan Yan loves you most in the world. It means a massage. Hua, on your body? Yan Yan loves you most in the world. Yes. Hua, don't give it to others. Su Yiyan was stunned. She thought about how this person's jealousy was overturned by acupuncture. If she gave it to others, he would be so angry that he would vomit blood. Yan Yan loves you most in the world. Okay, I'll only give it to you. Hua Chenhuan was slightly stunned, and his face heated up again. Hua, you don't have to teach Xiaoyang and the others. We're getting married soon. I can wait. Anyway, he had been paralyzed for so long, so he didn't mind being paralyzed for a few more days. It was just a few days. He could still afford to wait. Su Yiyan frowned. Only then did she remember that Hua Chenhuan didn't seem to like others touching his body after the car accident. Even Gu Xiaoyang and the others were no exception. Yan Yan loves you most in the world. Okay then, we'll do it after we get married. Anyway, we have plenty of time in the future. Hua Chenhuan looked at the last sentence. His eyes moved slightly, and a faint smile appeared on his face. With Yu Jingyu's presence, coupled with the drama of the teammates turning against each other in the ward, Wen Jingping's matter naturally couldn't be resolved unscathed like in the original novel. After that, Si Mingyu took the initiative to submit an application to withdraw from the competition. She also sorted out everything that had been said in the ward and posted it on her public account. This straightforward girl was very clear about the consequences of her actions, but she still did it without hesitation. It was clear that she had the intention to fight to the death. However, she was still too naive. Although Wen Jingping had made a mistake and lost herself, Hua Xiaofeng was not someone to be trifled with. The matter had just started. Although he was angry, he still reacted quickly. He directly bought a group of fake reviewers and said that Si Mingyu had been bribed by Yu Jingyu and Yu Yusher's management company. He deliberately poured dirty water on Wen Jingping to seek to get away with it. The reason why the Yu sisters were making things difficult for Wen Jingping was entirely out of jealousy. In addition, the video taken from that clip was indeed not enough to convict Wen Jingping, so Wen Jingping simply insisted that she had been framed by a group of people. Some bystanders were successfully brainwashed and felt that Wen Jingping had been framed. However, most people, especially those who had witnessed Wen Jingping's face being slapped in the face, quickly found out that this excuse was untenable. Chapter 218. Or are they jealous that you found such an outstanding boyfriend? Needless to say, Su Yiyan had really thought about that when he saw those whitewashing methods. After all, Hua Xiaofeng was a person with a strange brain circuit. To put it bluntly, he was too narcissistic and did not know himself well. In his heart, he must also feel that Wen Jingping being able to find such a rich and handsome boyfriend like him was a point that would make other girls jealous and hate her. Hua Xiaofeng bought fake reviewers, so Yu Jingyu naturally did not want to be outdone. She bought a group of fake reviewers to fight with him. Perhaps it was because of the protagonist's halo, but Yu Jingyu, who was supposed to be much more capable than Hua Xiaofeng, could only fight to a draw with him in the end. When the gods fought, the little devils suffered. The ones who were really suffering were the production team. Ever since Wen Jingping joined their show, she had caused a lot of trouble. The production team's higher-ups had long been angry with her and wanted to kick her out. However, the young master of family Hua stood behind her, and they could not afford to offend him. This time, Yu Yusher was an artiste of Dongqing City, and Dongqing City was one of the sponsors of their show. Furthermore, she was the second daughter of the Yu family, so they could not afford to offend her. Should they kick Wen Jingping out? If they kicked her out now, would family Hua make things difficult for them? The higher-ups were really worried. Su Yiyan's instructions reached the production team's director's ears at this time. What our boss means is that everyone is trying to make a living, and no one has it easy. Although this incident was bad and we suffered a loss in the end, it was because some people were not good enough. It has nothing to do with the production team, so we will not really pursue the responsibility of the production team. Moreover, Dongqing City also invested in this show, so we naturally don't want to see our efforts go to waste. Wen Jingping is very popular now, so we can keep her. After all, if everyone in a show is good, I'm afraid there won't be any conflicts. How can there be popularity without conflicts? Don't you think so? The director was not a fool. How could he not understand Dong Cheng's attitude towards Wen Jingping? In this world, there were always some people who were very good at the art of speaking. Once they opened their mouth, they would make people happy. Even if they knew that the other party had ulterior motives, they would still be willing to help. As for some people, the moment they opened their mouths, people would feel disgusted. Perhaps they would choose to submit because they were afraid of the other party's power. No matter how well they acted on the surface, it was inevitable that they would obey in public but oppose in private. I understand. Thank you for your understanding, President Su. The same thing will never happen again. Wen Jingping will stay, but we will stop her from doing anything else. Don't worry, President Su. Then I'll leave the rest of the children in your care. You're welcome. Just like that, Wen Jingping was asked to stay. She thought that Hua Xiaofeng's attempt to clear her name had worked, or that Hua Xiaofeng had pressured the production team so that they did not dare to chase her out. But no matter what, it was good that she could stay. Staying meant that she still had a chance. However, she soon realized that she was too naive. Although the police did not have enough evidence and could not convict her, the contestants in the production team who interacted with each other day and night were not like those who did not know anything. They all saw how well Si Mingyu usually treated Wen Jingping and how much she took care of her. Moreover, Si Mingyu had a straightforward personality, so the other contestants were actually very happy to interact with her. Chapter 219. Moreover, when this matter was first exposed, the few contestants who had run over to pull Si Mingyu also spontaneously followed suit. It meant that they were pulling Si Mingyu at that time. A few of them were pulling one person, so they should have been able to hold her back. However, Si Mingyu still rushed out in the end. Now that they thought about it, that strength did not seem to be hers alone. In other words, someone was indeed pushing her from behind. They did not have any evidence to prove that this person was Wen Jingping, but their rationality was already biased towards Si Mingyu and the others. They subconsciously wanted to stay away from this terrifying woman. How terrifying was a woman who could easily push away her friends who treated her sincerely and stood up for her own interests. It would be fine if they stayed away, but the closer they were to her, the more likely they would be used as stepping stones by her. With this thought in mind, the other contestants who did not pay much attention to her began to consciously distance themselves from her. The so-called isolation that Wen Jingping used to deceive Si Mingyu became a reality in the end. Other than that, Yun Luoshan also returned to the production team. Si Mingyu and Yu Yushi were both in the top 20. After they withdrew, their rankings were adjusted accordingly. Yun Luoshan and the contestant behind her were called back. This youngest girl, who had always been shy and timid after joining the team, seemed to have grown up a lot after this incident. She smiled at the other girls who were usually more talkative. Then, her smile faded as she walked in front of Wen Jingping. You! Before Wen Jingping could finish speaking, Yun Luoshan interrupted her. Sister Yushi's matter won't end just like that. This is just the beginning. With that, she turned around and left without waiting for Wen Jingping's reaction. Wen Jingping looked at her back and thought of what she had just said. For some reason, she felt a chill in her heart. After Su Yiyan asked Xia Junxing to convey her attitude to the production team, she completely ignored this matter. Half a month after the construction team officially started, Su Yiyan's medicinal cuisine restaurant was officially completed. All the furniture inside was neatly arranged, waiting for the arrival of the owner and guests. Dining hall? Why does this name sound a little strange? How is it strange? Didn't Gahuan mean eating happily? Which restaurant doesn't want customers to eat happily in their own restaurant and come to visit often? You have a point. More than a dozen employees who had been sent over earlier were discussing the name of the store and some of the furnishings in the store. This was the scene that Su Yiyan saw when he entered the room. He raised his eyebrows slightly and coughed lightly to attract everyone's attention. Their discussion came to an abrupt end. They hurriedly lined up and shouted, "Hello, boss." Su Yiyen laughed in spite of himself. He waved his hand and said, "No need to be so serious. Some of you are my relatives, and some of you are my brother's trusted aides. You are all trustworthy people." As soon as Su Yiyen said this, the eyes of several young people lit up, but they didn't try to curry favor with him on the spot. Su Yiyen saw this and nodded with satisfaction. He smiled and said, "Uncle and my brother should have told you before sending you here. What do you need to pay attention to?" Several people looked at each other and said truthfully, "President Su told us to listen to Mrs. Orders." Chapter 220. That's good. I'm actually not difficult to get along with. As long as you respect me, I'll respect you too. But if I find out that someone has violated the restaurant's rules and has done something against reason and morality, then I'm sorry, but I can only do business according to the rules. It doesn't matter if you're my relative or my brother's confidant, it won't work for me. Everyone was stunned and suddenly realized that the smiling young girl in front of them might not be as simple as she looked. Although it's not nice to hear, I like to say the ugly words first. This way it's good for you, good for me, and good for everyone. It can save a lot of trouble. As soon as Su Yiyen finished speaking, a young man asked in a clear voice, "Then boss, what are the rules of our restaurant?" Su Yiyen looked in the direction of the voice and found that it was a young man in his early 20s. He was a little tanned and looked very smart. "The rules of our restaurant are very simple. You should have heard that our restaurant is going to make medicinal cuisine." What is medicinal cuisine? It's food with Chinese herbs. Eating this food can cure diseases and strengthen the body. But since it's medicine, it must be effective for the disease. Eating it indiscriminately or taking the wrong amount of medicine will not improve the body, but will damage the body. It was the first time that everyone present had heard this, and they were a little confused for a while. Food was food. How did it have anything to do with medicine? So, was this a restaurant or a pharmacy? Su Yiyen didn't have the energy to wait for them to carefully digest these words and continued, "Among you people, I will pick a group to be in charge of the kitchen in the future. That is to say, a large part of the medicinal cuisine sold in the restaurant will need you to make it. The rules of the restaurant are that the people in charge of the kitchen are not allowed to make medicinal cuisine without my permission after leaving the kitchen. Whether it's to sell it or to make it for your family, you have to get my permission first. Otherwise, if there's a problem with it, the restaurant will not be responsible for it." When everyone heard Su Yiyen's words, they were even more confused. They thought that they were here to do odd jobs, but now they found that it was not easy. Not only did they have to know how to cook, but they also had to learn how to cure diseases. "Boss, we don't know how to cook, and we don't know what those herbs are. What should we do?" "You don't have to be nervous. I'll teach you later. I will teach you how to make medicinal cuisine, how to distinguish the medicinal herbs, and how to measure their weight." Su Yiyen paused and joked, "In addition, employees also have benefits in this regard." "What benefits?" "If the staff in the store need the medicinal cuisine, they can provide it for free. The relevant family members have the right to try it first and enjoy the subsequent discounts." Everyone looked at each other. It was obvious that they had no idea what Su Yiyen was talking about. Su Yiyen had already expected this, so she was prepared before she came. "You probably don't have much of an idea of what I'm talking about. How about this? I'll pick two of you who haven't been feeling well recently and make a medicinal cuisine for each of you to try and see how effective it is." Everyone present frowned at the same time and looked at each other, as if they were trying to find someone who was not feeling well and had to take the initiative to stand up and be the model. Who would have thought that Su Yiyen did not even need to go through such a process and directly chose two people from the crowd? Chapter 221. Su Yiyen called out a man and a woman in their early 20s. The two of them were shocked and stood in front of him uneasily. Su Yiyen was amused by their reaction and said helplessly, "Don't be nervous. I won't do anything to you. What are your names? Introduce yourselves." The two of them were a little embarrassed when they were suddenly used as examples. However, the boy was more proactive. He coughed lightly and said loudly, "My name is Xan Hanliang. I'm 26 this year. I used to be President Su's assistant. I'm unmarried and single. Hearing the last two words, the row of people behind Xi and Hanliang laughed out loud. Su Yiyen couldn't help but laugh. He patted him on the shoulder and said, "It's okay. Our feng shui is good, and there are many girls. Maybe in a few months, you'll be single." Xi and Hanliang didn't care about the people behind him holding back their laughter. He laughed sheepishly. After Su Yiyen laughed, he turned to look at the other girl. "What about you?" "My name is Chang Yishuan. I'm 24 this year. I just graduated not long ago. I'm also single." Considering that girls were thin-skinned, they didn't laugh this time. Su Yiyen didn't tease her and went straight to the point. "Is your menstrual cycle very messy? Sometimes it's delayed for a long time, and sometimes it's suddenly brought forward. It's rarely accurate. Occasionally, you'll have waist and knees ache, dizziness, and tinnitus." Chang Yishuan was stunned and said in surprise, How did you know?" "I can tell," Su Yiyen said and turned to look at Xi and Hanliang. "As for you, do you often sweat?" Xi and Hanliang looked confused. "Sweat? What is sweat?" "When you're asleep, you always sweat a lot. The amount of sweat you sweat is far more than the average person. The specific symptoms are that you always feel hot when you're asleep and sweat non-stop. When you wake up, the sweat will stop. However, because you sweat too much in your sleep, you will feel thirsty." Xi and Hanliang's expression changed slightly. "That's right. Is this also an illness? Can it be cured? Can I still be saved?" Su Yiyen looked at the person in front of him who was scared half to death by himself. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Don't scare yourself. Your current condition is only moderate night sweating. You'll recover after some rest." Xi and Hanliang was relieved. That's good. Apart from the two of them, the rest of the people were a little surprised when they saw this scene. For a moment, they even wondered if the two people who were called out were fake. Otherwise, how could he have identified their illness after just meeting them for less than 10 minutes and just listening to their self-introduction? This was too miraculous. Su Yiyen didn't care what these people thought. He led the group of people to the kitchen. Since the illness has been confirmed, the next step is to prepare the medicinal cuisine. It just so happens that I haven't streamed in a few days. I'll take this opportunity to catch up on my lost time. Su Yiyen was indeed very busy recently. Not only was she busy with the store, but she was also busy with the management company that Su Yushuan had handed over to her. He had just taken over the company and there were a lot of things to do. If it weren't for Xia Junxing helping to share some of the burden, she was afraid that she would have been so busy that she wanted to quit. The sudden return of the missing people caused Su Yiyen's bald clique to be the first to react. They rushed to spread the news. Therefore, Su Yiyen had just opened the live broadcast when he saw the screen full of, "Host, help." Those who didn't know better would have thought that they had entered an emergency crime scene. Chapter 222. Su Yiyen wasn't the only one who was dumbfounded. The new employees behind her were also dumbfounded. What kind of live stream room was their big boss doing? Why were there so many people asking her for help? Help? What life? Whose life? The bald party begs the host to save this baby. The auntie party begs the host to love me again. The insomniac party seconded. Host, look at me. I'm begging for a child. My husband and I really want a child of our own. Please help. Su Yiyen looked at the screen full of people who were begging for help in surprise. She blinked and asked in confusion, "What's going on? I didn't see you guys so anxious before." Host, you didn't disappear for such a long time before. Host, you're no longer the diligent little cutie who took the time to live stream for us no matter how busy she was. Tell us honestly, where have you been all this time? Was she abducted by someone? Do you still need to ask? The host must have been kidnapped by her husband. Su Yiyen's mouth twitched slightly. She sighed and said, "That's not it. I've been really busy recently." We know. You guys are busy spending time with each other. He. Su Yiyen was speechless. They didn't even have a chance to see each other now. How could they spend time with each other? Fortunately, the audience soon noticed the background of the live stream behind her. Is the host in some home's kitchen? Why does it look different from the previous one? It does look a little different. However, I've confirmed it with my eyes. No matter which one it is, I can't afford it. The host seemed to have said before that she wasn't short of money. She probably started the live stream out of interest or simply wanted to promote those Chinese herbs. Seeing that the audience's topic was starting to deviate to her real life, Su Yiyan hurriedly coughed to draw everyone's attention back. This is actually the reason why I haven't been live streaming recently. Su Yiyan picked up the live stream equipment and turned the camera around so that it could capture some details in the kitchen. However, she made sure that she and the people not far away were not in the camera. This is the small kitchen in my new store. It was recently renovated. Today is the first time it's being used after the renovation. As soon as Su Yiyan said this, the bullet screen froze for a second or two. New shop? Is it what I think it means? The streamer is going to open a physical store? Doesn't that mean that we can eat the host's medicinal cuisine in real life? We don't have to stare at the lucky draw anymore. Really? Really? Where is it? Oh, my baldness can be saved. Then does that mean my period can be cured too? And my insomnia? Mine. Isn't the main point that if the streamer really opens a physical store, we can go to the store and see the streamer's real face? Upstairs, you're really smart. Even if it weren't for the medicinal cuisine, I would still go to the shop to watch the streamer. I'm going. Yes, yes, yes. I also want to watch the streamer. The streamer's hands are so beautiful and her voice is so pleasant. She must be a great beauty in real life. Come on, let's team up and play with the streamer, let's go. Team +1. Team +2. The bullet screen was filled with joy. Su Yiyan stared at the bullet screen that said they wanted to watch her and shook her head regretfully. Chapter 223. She had already planned to install a scanning device at the door as soon as the store opened and send the customer's image data to her computer. She only needed to look at the computer in the small room to know their physical condition and prepare the appropriate amount of medicinal cuisine for them. She didn't need to meet them face to face. Su Yiyan felt that she was really clever. She smiled faintly and said, I do have the idea of opening a physical store. During the last live broadcast, I saw someone talking about the problem of Chinese medicine being difficult to popularize. After the broadcast, I thought about it and felt that it wasn't an easy problem to solve. After thinking about it, I simply found a store and opened a physical store, a medicinal cuisine store that can't be found anywhere else. The host is really rich. She can talk about opening a store so casually. It's like eating. I have an inexplicable hatred for the rich. However, I still want to say something. Well done. Please open a few more stores and save the children. Am I the only one who is more concerned about the price? The Chinese medicine in the host's hands is grown from extinct plants. You can't buy it even if you have the money. The price. The students are a little worried. You can rest assured about the price. It's not much different from the food sold in high-end restaurants. It's still possible to occasionally consume it once a month. This was also the price that Su Yiyan gave after considering it. Although she didn't open the store for profit, the basic cost and employee salary still had to be taken into account. She didn't want to seek a huge profit, but she couldn't let herself suffer too much. Just like what the audience said, the things in her hands were now unique. If she really wanted to sell them for profit, many rich people would pay a high price. After all, everyone had 3 disasters and 6 diseases and was afraid of death. The audience obviously thought so too. They thought that they would get a sky-high price, but it turned out to be similar to the food in high-end restaurants. Although the food in high-end restaurants was expensive, those dishes weren't as magical as the host's. They could still bear the pain and try it occasionally. Thinking about it this way, some people seem to have expectations for life. Work hard to make money, go. The location of the store is in City A. I will write the specific address directly on the private page of the live broadcast room. The official opening date is tentatively set 3 days later at 9 o'clock. On the opening day, the store will have a 20% discount. In addition, due to my limited ability and the limited materials I have on hand, in the early stages of opening the store, I don't support selling outside the city or even within the city. You can only spend in the store. As soon as Su Yiyen's words came out, the viewers in the live streaming room were instantly filled with grief. F***CK. City A? Is the host from a city? City A is so far away from me. It's very far from here, and it's not even available outside the same city, let alone in other cities. Will I never be able to eat the host's medicinal cuisine in this lifetime? I'm in A. In the city, there were no classes in 3 days. I'll go to the streamer's shop to taste the medicinal cuisine on your behalf. I'll also help you meet the streamer. Not in A. The people in the city felt that they had missed out on 100 million yuan. They were crying miserably. On the other hand, the people in the city rubbed their palms as if they had been injected with chicken blood. They were waiting for the opening day of Su Yiyen's new shop. Chapter 224. This rule was very capricious. If it were in an ordinary restaurant, this rule alone would be enough to dissuade 70 to 80% of the customers. However, in this live stream room, although the bullet comments went blank for a few seconds, when the audience reacted, they didn't reject it as expected. I know. The host has repeatedly emphasized that the medicinal cuisine is like food, but it's still medicine. You can eat whatever you want, but you can't eat medicine. The host is being responsible for us. I believe in the host. The dishes in the host's previous live stream room are super delicious. I like all of them. Just give me a portion and I'll eat it to my heart's content. I'm very easy to raise. Obediently waiting. JPG. Compared to this, I'm more concerned about whether the medicinal cuisine in the host's new shop is the same as the ones that appeared in the host's live stream room. After the store opens, will the host still draw prizes in the future? Seeing that the audience adapted well, Su Yiyen heaved a sigh of relief. Yes, the medicinal cuisine in the store is the same as the ones that appeared in my previous live stream room. New menus will be added one after another. I'll also keep the prizes. Every time a new medicinal cuisine is released, I'll live stream it and draw prizes. The lucky viewers who won the previous lottery will be able to make a medicinal cuisine exclusive to them. The prizes will be given out after the next live stream. As soon as Su Yiyen finished speaking, the screen was filled with, "Oh yeah. Hooray." Su Yiyen couldn't help but laugh. Okay, let's stop talking about the new shop. Now, let's get back to business and start today's live stream. Although the renovation of the shop had just been completed a few days ago, some necessary ingredients and herbs had been sent in a batch. It was also Su Yiyen's intention to take advantage of these few days to select a few people who had some talent in this field to help her. She had asked someone to arrange it in advance. Su Yiyen first took out euphemia ulmoids, mulberry parasite, wolfberry, ginseng, amomum, tremella, and other herbs from the herb wall behind him. Then, he took out a processed black-bone chicken and pork belly. Today, I'll be making amomum, tremella, and pork belly soup and euphemia black-bone chicken soup. These two soups are employee benefits and won't be used for the prizes. Employee benefits. That's right. Not only do our employees have the right to try the new dishes first, but they also have the right to receive their personal medicinal cuisine for free. Su Yiyen's words caused the viewers in the live streaming room to hold their breaths for a few seconds. Soon after, the screen was flooded with comments. F***CK. Does the streamer's shop still lack employees? He just graduated from university and knows how to weld. Is it too late for me to resign and apply for a job in the streamer's shop? Chapter 225. Hua Chenhuan would never have thought that his loyal subordinate, who always placed him first in everything, would one day secretly plan how to use his name to cheat his fiancée of food and drink. The interns, who had been envied and hated even before they officially started working, finally realized how powerful their big boss was. Especially after the two soups were boiling and the aroma wafted out. This group of people began to unconsciously steal glances at Su Yiyen. A few of them with weaker concentration even began to sniff unconsciously. The stewing time was a little long. Taking advantage of this time, Su Yiyen simply made some crystal buns and small wontons. The crystal buns that had just come out of the oven had become beautiful and transparent. As soon as the steamer was opened, The overbearing aroma rushed out along with the white smoke, filling the entire kitchen and the live broadcast room. After the small wontons were cooked in the pot, they were sprinkled with a series of seasonings such as green onions and celery. When the fire was boiling, the aroma was so fragrant that it made people forget to leave. Su Yiyan left a steamer of crystal buns and 2 small bowls of wontons for the audience in the live broadcast room to try and draw a prize later. As for the rest, Li Jingwen, the student-looking young man who had first asked about the rules of Su Yiyan's restaurant, took them out and distributed them to the others. More than a dozen employees were already hungry from the aroma of these things. As soon as they saw Li Jingwen come over, they immediately rushed up and grabbed a few buns each and couldn't wait to eat. The crystal buns made by Su Yiyan combined the characteristics of soup dumplings. Not only were the skin thin, but the soup inside was also enough. A few male employees were more impatient. They didn't know that there was soup inside. They bit into the bun one by one. It was so hot that they couldn't help but gasp, but they couldn't bear to spit it out. They could only endure the pain and slowly chew and swallow. A few girls learned their lesson. They carefully bit the edges of the bun, sucked the soup inside, and ate the small bun in a mouthful. That taste was indescribably enjoyable. After eating the bun, they drank a bowl of hot wontons. The soup was fresh and delicious, and the stuffing was sufficient. One bite at a time, it was warm and delicious. Among these people, except for Li Jingwen who went out of the camera to get something, the others didn't show up. Even so, their sighs when they tasted the food still reached the ears of the audience in the live broadcast room intermittently. All of a sudden, they felt that the 2 small bowls in front of them were no longer fragrant, and their hearts felt even more stifled. Even if he turned on the taste and smell simulator, a fake would always be a fake. He would never be able to achieve the satisfaction of actually eating something in his mouth. At this moment, everyone whose fighting spirit had been aroused by the delicious food made up their minds simultaneously. No matter how far away they were, or how busy they were with work, they had to go to Su Yiyan's shop to try out their products. After Su Yiyan gave away the remaining crystal buns and wontons, the 2 soups were almost ready. Su Yiyan turned off the live stream under the pressure of the viewers urging her to stay. She then scooped out 2 bowls of soup and placed them in front of the 2 people. Let's try it. It should taste all right. It was more than okay. The audience, who had a certain understanding of Su Yiyan's cooking through the crystal buns and wontons, stared at the 2 bowls of soup in front of the 2 people. Their burning gazes were about to burn the 2 people involved. Not long ago, they were secretly glad that they hadn't been chosen to be the model. Now, their intestines were about to turn green with regret. Why hadn't they been chosen just now? Chapter 226. Xian Hanliang and Cheng Yishuan held the soup in front of them with trembling hands. They could feel the envious and jealous gazes of the people around them. However, the billowing fragrance that kept entering their nostrils tightly grabbed their attention like a silk thread, making them unable to care about anything else. The 2 of them had just taken a sip when the other dozen people rushed to the table and asked with burning eyes, "How is it? How is it? What's the taste? Is it good?" The 2 of them showed a look of enjoyment at the same time and said cheerfully, "It's super delicious." After that they learned by themselves. Without the urging of the people around them, they spontaneously talked about their feelings after drinking it. The black chicken soup is sweet with a hint of sweetness. It's stewed until it's soft, so it's super fragrant. The pork tripe soup doesn't have the smell of internal organs at all. It's soft and crisp, and the taste is super good. After the 2 of them finished speaking, they couldn't help but recall the taste and almost drooled. They didn't care that there were so many people staring at them and buried their heads in drinking. There were a few people who had a good relationship with the 2 of them. They couldn't help but beg, "Give me a sip, just a sip. For the sake of our good relationship." Xian Hanliang and Cheng Yishuan were stunned. They subconsciously held their bowls tightly, but they couldn't refuse too directly. They could only look at Su Yiyan for help. Su Yiyan received their pitiful gazes and said with amusement, Okay, don't crowd around them. This is specially made for them. It's suitable for their physical condition. They can't eat it carelessly. If you really want to drink it, don't worry. After all, this is an employee benefit." When they heard the first half of Su Yiyan's words, they were a little disappointed, but when they heard the second half, they became energetic again. Yes, This is an employee benefit. As long as they are employees of the restaurant, they can enjoy this treatment. Understanding this, many people's eyes lit up, and the gazes they looked at Su Yiyan with became extremely hot. Su Yiyan smiled slightly when he saw this. He knew that his goal had been achieved. If you want people to work for you wholeheartedly, friendship is one thing, but benefits are another. If it was just a pie in the sky, no matter how much affection there would be a day when it would be exhausted. Giving some practical benefits at an appropriate time would give people hope. What's your answer? Would you like to work in my shop? Everyone looked at each other. We're willing. That's good. This is our employee contract. The salary requirements are written on it. In the future, I will appoint a team leader for the front and back kitchen. As for the specifics, it will depend on your learning progress and performance in the next few days. I've already mentioned a few things that you need to pay attention to. What's left is confidentiality. Keep it secret. That's right. You saw it just now. I'm a live streamer, and I haven't shown my face on the internet yet. I didn't plan to do that after opening the shop, so I hope you can help me keep it a secret. Don't let anyone know that I'm the real owner of this shop. This is also the reason why I chose to recruit from my own family instead of recruiting publicly. Understood, understood. We'll help you keep this a secret. We won't let anyone know your identity. Chapter 227. Naturally, no one objected to this. It was already a great privilege for them to be able to enjoy it for free. If they were to take it out without the owner's permission, what was the difference between that and theft? Su Yiyan was quite satisfied with their cooperative attitude and signed a contract with all of them on the spot. Considering the problem of time, Su Yiyan first taught them some simpler stews. The problem of the dosage was not difficult to solve. There was a smart weighing machine in the kitchen that was accurate to 4 digits. When the time came, she only needed to give them the approximate dosage, and they would weigh it themselves. Of course, cooking still required a little talent in the end. People who used the same recipe would eventually make some dishes that were good and some that were not. Su Yiyan spent half a day to roughly divide the kitchen staff and the front shop staff. After that, she let them familiarize themselves with the work in the shop. When everything was settled, it was already close to evening when she came out of the shop. Just as she got into the car, Su Yiyan received a video call request from Huan. Why are you calling me at this time? Did you miss me? As soon as the call connected, Huan saw Su Yiyan's cheerful smile. The corners of her lips curled up slightly, and she said honestly, "Yes, I missed you. Bear with it for a few more days. We'll be getting married in a few days." Okay. Huan looked at the person in front of her with a smile. Soon, she noticed the fatigue between her eyebrows and frowned slightly. Are you tired? It's okay. There are a lot of things to do today. Huan seemed to have thought of something when she heard that. She deliberated and said, I heard that you opened a restaurant. Su Yiyan was not surprised that Huan knew about it. Yes, it's a medicinal cuisine restaurant. It will open in 3 days. Then I'll get someone to send you flowers. There will be flowers all over the street. Su Yiyan was startled, but she quickly realized that Huan wanted to declare her sovereignty, so she did not refuse. Okay, then I'll wait and see. I also heard that the employee benefits in your restaurant are very good. They can try the dishes you make for free. That's true. I also heard that the family members of the employees in your shop also receive corresponding benefits. That's right. Family members also have the benefit of priority trial, but they have to pay for it. However, there's a discount. It's based on the distance between relatives. Then, am I considered an employee's family? Su Yiyan was stunned. She finally understood what Huan was trying to say by beating around the bush. She smiled and teased, You don't count. Huan's expression changed slightly, and her eyes darkened. But right after that, he heard Su Yiyan say, You're the boss's wife, a member of this shop. You don't take up a family spot. Lady boss? That's right. I'm the boss, and you're my partner. Doesn't that make you the boss's wife? Huan. That makes sense. I actually have nothing to say to that. Also, You usually eat the medicinal cuisine I make for you. Did I ask you to pay for it? Huan. Her words made him feel like he was living off his wife, even though he was not against living off her. But when it comes to the family members of the employees, your employees can be counted. If it's Hua Xiaofeng's family, then forget about it. I'm already kind enough not to blacklist them. Chapter 228. Su Yiyan suddenly thought of that family, so he said that casually. He didn't want to continue talking about them, which would ruin his mood. So he took the initiative to change the topic. Is Dun Dun still causing trouble recently? Su Yiyan had been busy recently, so he rarely went to Huan's place, not to mention taking Dun Dun out to meet the love of his dreams. The long-term unrequited love made this little guy a little autistic recently. It was not even willing to talk to its master, who used to be its second love. It'll be fine after we get married. Su Yiyan also smiled. Yes, it'll be fine after we get married. Dun Dun was with Huan. Whether it was Huan taking Dun Dun to Hua or Ling Xiaoqi taking Hua to Dun Dun, it was not appropriate. They could only wrong Dun Dun and solve this problem after they got married. Wait, I'll come to you on the colorful auspicious clouds soon. Huan was amused by her words and responded with satisfaction. Okay, I'll wait for you. As soon as the two ended the call, Huan sent a message to the three of them. He asked them to bring the company's employees to support Su Yiyan in 3 days in the name of the boss's family. When Gu Xiaoyang and the others first received the message, they almost thought that they were blind. It was fine to support, but what the hell was the boss's family? Before they could figure out the key point, Huan had already repeated what his wife said to the three of them. He hid the part about the boss's wife and changed it to the boss's partner. After listening to the story, the three of them looked indifferent. Their boss's tone was just short of telling everyone frankly. The reason why you can get the privilege is that my wife opened the back door for you. My wife is really beautiful and kind. Why don't you hurry up and kowtow to thank her? So what if you have a wife? Just because he had a wife, he could show off his love and abuse single dogs without any scruples. But in fact, having a wife was amazing. Having a beautiful, sensible, and capable wife was even more amazing. Yu Zian silently ridiculed his boss for being crazy in his heart, then turned around and happily ran to the technical department to share this great news with the bitter baldies. When Su Yiyan announced that he would open a physical store to sell medicinal cuisine in City A, these people began to poke at their immediate superior. There were all kinds of explicit hints, and some even rolled around and acted shamelessly, begging him to tell the boss to open a back door for them. Today, however, not only did they open the back door, but they also inexplicably became family members. This group of people suddenly went crazy with joy. Their cheers almost lifted the roof of the company. Each of them could not wait for the arrival of the opening day. Su Yiyan and Huan's wedding would be held in less than a week, so they were in a hurry, but no one wanted to make Su Yiyan feel wronged. The invitations had been sent out as early as a month ago, and other things had been prepared one after another. When Su Yiyan returned home, Cheng Xiuqin and Qin Shueru were busy confirming the wedding dress and formal attire that Su Yiyan would wear that day. When they saw that the main character had returned, their eyes lit up. Yan is back. Come over and take a look. The wedding dress and formal attire that we ordered before are all here. Try it on and see if there's anything wrong with it. Take advantage of these few days to ask them to change it. Qin Shueru was holding a wedding dress in her hand. She got up and walked in the direction of Su Yiyan. Chapter 229. Qin Shueru quickly noticed Su Yiyan's strange behavior. She frowned and asked with concern, "What's wrong? Did something happen?" Su Yiyan seemed to have woken up from a dream. He said anxiously, "Auntie, can you give me your hand?" Hand. Qin Shueru was confused, but she did as she was told. Su Yiyan felt her pulse for a while, and the uncertainty in his eyes was gradually replaced by pure excitement. "What's wrong? Yan, why are you grabbing your auntie's hand?" "I'm taking my auntie's pulse." "Taking your pulse?" Cheng Xiuqin frowned. "What's taking your pulse?" "Taking your pulse means checking your body's condition by feeling the pulse on your wrist." Qin Shueru and Cheng Xiuqin were shocked when they heard Su Yiyan's words. In this era, most Chinese herbs were extinct. Naturally, Chinese medicine only existed in scientific literature, and very few people knew about it. Hearing Su Yiyan's explanation, the two of them, who were used to using all kinds of advanced medical equipment, were surprised and curious. Before they could ask more, Mr. Su and Cheng Juanhao came down with old Master Cheng. Seeing the three of them together, he asked curiously, "What are you guys doing?" "Yan is taking Shueru's pulse." Cheng Xiuqin asked Su Yiyan subconsciously, "You said that you can know a person's condition by feeling their pulse. What did you find out for your auntie just now?" Su Yiyan chuckled and grinned from ear to ear. "I found a baby." "What baby? You're already so old and you're still..." Cheng Xiuqin's complaint stopped abruptly, and the others were shocked too. Qin Shueru touched her stomach subconsciously, and her face was full of disbelief. "Yan, you mean?" Su Yiyan went forward and held her hand. He said with certainty, "It's what you think. Auntie is pregnant. Uncle, you're going to be a father." At this moment, Qin Shueru's mind was completely blank. A pleasant surprise that came too suddenly would always make one afraid. This was just an illusion born from one's obsession. She grabbed Su Yiyan's hand as if she was grabbing onto a life-saving straw. She was unwilling to let go. "Yan, is it true? I'm pregnant? Am I really pregnant?" Cheng Xiuqin looked at Qin Shueru, who was so excited that she was about to cry on the spot. At the same time, he felt sorry for her, but he still couldn't believe that Su Yiyan could really feel a baby. If she didn't find out in the end, her sister-in-law would be disappointed to death. "Yan, are you sure you're not mistaken? Your aunt, she..." "There's really no mistake. If you don't believe me, you can go to the hospital for a checkup now. It should be about 3 weeks. We should be able to detect it with the equipment." Yes. Cheng Juanhao finally reacted and rushed to his wife's side. He pushed Su Yiyan away and hugged Qin Shueru's hand. He was so excited that he didn't know what to do. "Let's go to the hospital. I'll take you to the hospital for a checkup now." Su Yiyan. He didn't want his niece anymore after having a baby. Men were indeed pigs. The two of them who were going to be parents were so happy that they were dizzy. Cheng Xiuqin and his wife were both expectant and nervous. You're tuning in to the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.